It's contract renewal time, so think about if this is where you still want to be. We can try and negotiate a better deal here, but we also have the chance to look elsewhere.
Alright everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the F123 Driver Agreement with Alfa Romeo, episode number 25 today, the Belgian Grand Prix Season 2, round number 9. If you missed the previous episode at Silverstone, I recommend you go and check one out before seeing this one. But first of all, we've got to renegotiate our contract with Alfa Romeo. Decided to go with medium risk because I think we deserve that extra money for all the podiums we've got so far, 3 so far.
They're happy to enter into negotiations.
Well, that's very frustrating, isn't it? Not being able to give us the money that we deserve, and we've had to go for a lower contract now, which is annoying. Anyway, R&D wise, I'm going to purchase this minor engine power upgrade that I said we was going to do. Can't quite get this done in the previous episode of Belgium. Silverstone, so that's going to come on for hopefully Spa. Should do it's 11 days. And we're also going to sniff around minor front downforce as well, to get both of those on. They've all failed, and it's just got setback after setback after setback in this series. We're going to have some rain for qualifying and the race, but it's just we haven't had an upgrade since Austria because we can't afford that. We were hoping for a huge upgrade package. If all 3 of those were going on, I think we could have been there close to Alpine, I reckon, on the R&D tree, but no. We've been caught by AlphaTauri, the slowest team on the grid. Williams are sprouting ahead. Not that that's going to help them anyway. Although Stroll did finish ahead of us, Silverstone. So yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Now, you may be thinking it's going to rain, but the F1 gods have just taken pity on Alfa Romeo, and you can see that. Well, actual fact that we've got purple through the middle sector somehow at the start of the session. Nothing to do there. But you can see here, well, first of all, our teammate hasn't retired. So Alonso is still here, despite the fact that announced his retirement a long time ago in this season. He is here to stay, but he is in the pits, which he's going to regret that, I think. Because he went out where it was quite a bit wet and now it's quite dry. AlphaTauri out of the way. It's locked up. I think a lot of these are finishing their laps. We're going to have the best of the conditions as the last man to cross the line. Norris goes fastest, but I think that time is going to be beaten. There we go. Verstappen 42s. We'll see what we can do. Whether we can be up there, because of course we have the advantage of the best track conditions of everyone. Now, obviously, this isn't this is a chance to get a higher qualifying position. Alonso's in 19th. We're 19th and 20th at the moment, which isn't great. Fernando, well, the team has definitely screwed Fernando over. They should have, if they had only had that one set of slots, he should have gone out a bit later with me. But they're all there. We're 4 seconds up on our previous best times. We go through Pouon. Well, the middle sector isn't that great for me, to be honest, compared to the AI, especially through the sequence of corners from Pouon down here. I just don't ever get the right drive, the right turning, or the right speed compared to the AI. It's only when we get here. We've gotten purple through that sector though, so maybe the track conditions are coming good to us as we come along the back straight now as well. 7 seconds up on our previous best time under the intermediates. Up to the bus stop, braking a little bit early there. Don't want to be, hairpins or not. A little bit of a squiggle on the exit there. But up to the line, it was purple last sector. Is that going to be pole position? It is, ladies and gentlemen. Pole position for 5/10 to Verstappen. Now I know how Verstappen felt at Japan. Yeah, the track condition. Yeah, this is. Don't read too much into this. I think that we were on the on the track at the right time to take full advantage. Had the AI been on the same track that then they would probably be like 13th or something. But yeah, we got Verstappen in second. Now remember also, this is a sprint Grand Prix weekend, so we're not on pole for the Grand Prix, unfortunately, but it is pole for the sprint, so we'll see what we can do from first place on the grid. It's time for the sprint.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Now, unfortunately, the audio from this bit until about halfway through the race is actually slightly out of sync with the picture, so apologies about that. We're going to choose mediums for the sprint. Verstappen's gone to softs. That's annoying. 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix sprint, and away we go. And it's a good start. It's better than Verstappen off the line. We're going to take the racing line into turn 1. It's a comfortable start for me. Not so comfortable for Lando Norris in 4th. That's a horrible start from the man from Mercedes. He's been going to get pinched in as well by the two Alpine, ganged up on rather, by both of them, and he's down in P9 as well. Verstappen already having a go at the end of Kemmel Straight. We're not having any of that. So we're just going to try hold on to as many positions as possible. Leclerc is there as well. Remember our little Ferrari contract. We will try not hold them off, but Verstappen is already side by side through the bus stop. Going to try and get Verstappen's space, but we have a bit of a yeah, it may have scared me off a little bit there. But so Verstappen, he's going to run away, but it doesn't really matter because he's getting a penalty anyway. So regardless of what happens, it's not a time penalty, it's a grid penalty, as that is Piastri defending from Russell. We're going to start playing the DRS game, because my goodness, DRS is overpowered. Well, the thing is, there's two things that are terrible on this game compared to what they are in real life: DRS and tyre wear for the player against the AI. Both of them are just completely and utterly broken on this game, because the player has too much tyre wear, and DRS is way overpowered compared to what it's like in real life. Because if you have DRS, you can make a good 4/10 up, as well. And you can see here that Russell's going to go past. He was within that 4/5. I think in real life, it depends track to track, but I think I found that around Spa it's 4/10. There's a bit of tyre bang between myself and Russell on the back straight. Please give me room, Russell. As well as he goes, I'll take the inside curve, but the bus stop, no. George is going to track extend, thank you very much, and up to P. He goes up to P2. I'm just not going to complain about that, because what's going to happen here is we're just going to have DRS down the Kemmel Straight, and we've got a bit of battery to use. He's using his battery to try and escape. You can see here we've got 4/10, 4.5 coming onto the 4.5 onto the Kemmel Straight, and just watch this. Just say we're going to wave goodbye to George Russell here. He tries to go defensive. We're just able to catch up to him. And I don't think that's quite really what happened with realistic. Maybe we're using a bit more battery there, but that needs to be looked at. Tyre wear, you can see lap 6 of 8. We're already past the dreaded 25%, which is where the tyres start giving you less grip than they already do. As well, this time on the outside, again more tyre banging with Russell. Carry on for now. As well as Leclerc. We again defend from Russell. Now Leclerc is having a go at Russell, and Leclerc gets in front of Russell, and then we tried to hold on to Leclerc, but that Ferrari power engine is actually a lot faster than us. Yeah, the Mercedes is about level with where we are, where the Alfa engine is. on paper, which is why I think we've been able to keep Russell behind us. But compared to the Mercedes isn't that great. But compared to the Ferrari, we've got no chance. And the tyre wear is in the mid-30s now, and Piastri is able to overtake Russell as well. As Verstappen wins by a country mile using his soft tyres, we have again a bit of a twitch in the bus stop, and we come across the line for P3, which will be P2 for the race. So I will definitely take that. It's more points on the board. I don't think we're going to win. This is just about trying to keep as many positions as possible, because the more points we get, the bigger it is for us in our championship fight against the likes of Aston Martin, McLaren. To be fair though, Piastri P4 as well. Bottas didn't score. Alonso, because of course he was down at the back anyway, suffered. Sainz also down there. He actually lost positions. Alonso there down in P19. So there's work to be done for our teammates. So we'll see what we can do from second on the grid. It's time for the race.
It's the Belgian Grand Prix, the site of the maiden victory of the Jordan team in 1998. The venue that Michael Schumacher made his debut in Formula One. There is so much history here amongst the beautiful nature. Today we go racing through the Ardennes forest. 4.3 miles of long straights, fast corners and huge elevation changes. Turn 1 hairpin at the source is straight into Eau Rouge, eventually climbing into Radion. It is an opening salvo like no other. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Phoenix completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Perez, Verstappen, Ocon, Gasly, Norris, Tsunoda, Russell, Sainz, Joe, Hulkenberg, De Vries, Magnussen, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Bottas and Logan Sargent. And now it's time to head down to the track. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to ask you about Esteban Ocon. Joined once again by former Formula One driver Anthony Davidson, and they've had a lot of on-track incidents recently that could leave them low on confidence.
It's not an ideal situation by any means. When you get into a bad run like that, there's always a risk of frustration creeping in, which can cause more mistakes and locks you into this vicious cycle. Hopefully today they can get through turn 1 cleanly and stay calm for the rest of the race.
So we are down the grid on P2 on the left hand side, so we'll have the racing line going into turn 1. Now you can see there, if I had the option to, I would go on to start this race on Inters, because I think the rain is going to be coming. Remember Markus Winkelhock all those years ago at the Nürburgring started from the pit lane and took the lead because everyone else had to pit, and he went straight on to Inters. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Race strategy is out the window, so 5 red lights then for the Belgian Grand Prix, and away we go. And it's a horrible start for Leclerc. We're just going to motor away there and take the racing line through into turn 1. That's not what Leclerc really wanted, but we're just going to eat this Ferrari engine. He's god tier. We're just going to let him pass, although we're not going to let him pass because he's going to lock up and go straight on. It's a damp track. We're coming in at the end of lap 1 for intermediates. Here's a replay. He just completely locked up. There's no chance of him making that corner. Leclerc is down to P4, ahead of Verstappen, who is up to P5 following his penalty. And that is Lando Norris making a good start as well after his terrible sprint race. So look, Norris is up a couple of positions as well, up to P6. So Verstappen started on mediums, don't know why, because everyone's going to come into the pits. So Verstappen is not coming into the pits. What is he doing? Why aren't they double stacking? We are double stacking. I think I can see, yes, we are double stacking. So Alonso's coming in. But, there's a whole load of them that have carried on. If it was me and I was a second driver, you would double stack every day of the week. as well. Just come out in front of an Alfa Tauri, just in front of Perez. So Perez is up to P2. I think it's Tsunoda up to 3rd. Yes, what happened with Tsunoda? It was an unsafe release as he goes through Leclerc. I don't think I've ever seen an AI ghost. I've seen the player usually ghosts, but that's unusual to see the AI to have an unsafe release. But look at them. Look, those who stuck on the soft tyres, Sargent, Albon, they're just sitting ducks. We're going to cruise round the outside of them as well. And the advantage is the others behind are going to get stuck behind. We have to brake to avoid going into the back of De Vries. They're going about 2 miles an hour as well. Next up is Sainz. Why is this lot not pitted? I do not know. They should have pitted. It is way too wet for any soft tyres. I'm going to brake early to make sure there. And also the braking assist is just, doesn't work properly in wet conditions. And that's Tsunoda catching Perez napping behind an Alfa Tauri. And Tsunoda is up to P2, ladies and gentlemen, as well. So I have the lead, by the way, as well. Our teammate has taken advantage. By the double stack, he's up to P9 for 19th on the grid, as well. There's even the Williams are up there. They haven't scored a point yet this season, as well. But unfortunately, I don't have any pace around here compared to the AI. The fact we're leading so far is just fluke, basically, of the pace that we had in qualifying. Being at the right place at the right time. The tyres are going off. We've only had 5 laps and they're already on 17%. And we've got Tsunoda and Perez right up my backside. And that is Valtteri Bottas overtaking Kevin Magnussen down the inside. Verstappen behind him. So Verstappen, who was P5, has now dropped out the points as well. Leclerc at the inside of Piastri as well. I think Piastri's going to hold on to that one though. Norris as well. Although saying that, Lando Norris there, you saw in the background, is pulling off, and that's going to bring out a virtual safety car, which, to be honest, is a little bit of a breath taker. We had to brake there to beat the Delta, but anyway, Perez and Tsunoda are now going to have a little bit of a battle, which is going to give me another breather from their tirade of attacks that we're just having to defend from as well. And now they're still going side by side as we go around the corner with no name as well. And Perez now is the one ahead up into P2, which I kind of preferred it was Tsunoda because Tsunoda is in the Aston Martin is worse than the Alfa in the Red Bull. Although saying that, we both go wide there. Perez almost off track there as well. There's a replay, and Perez just we just kept him to that inside, and he just went way too deep into that corner, and then Tsunoda pinches into the cursed curb, and Tsunoda's back up into P2 as our teammate. No, Fernando. That's not what we wanted, and that's Spinala for Fernando, and that's going to bring out a safety car. And at this point, the track is dry and the rain has eased off, and at this point, we are coming into the pits for mediums. You can see the tyre wear is quite. It's actually okay, better than what I feared. I feared that we'd have to make a second stop onto another set of inters before we got to the dry period because of the tyre wear being so high for the player. And I'm trying everything, by the way, to cure this. I've gone with the default tyre pressures, so it's not tight. I've done a little. I've tried for this race. I chose the default tyre pressures from the default setup, and it's still not been working well. But a lot of them aren't. I'm the only one, apart from, well, we'll see in a moment, who has decided to make that just change it onto a set of dries. But Tsunoda still leads then takes the lead. It's an Aston Martin, technically 1-2, but there is Logan Sargent. He has pitted onto a set of hard tyres, but he's quite some way behind. So whether or not you'll be able to catch up before the safety car comes in, I don't know. Now Ferrari, being Ferrari, have stupidly pitted Sainz, who had a front wing change under the safety car, onto another set of Inters. Yeah. And also I think somebody else there has also made the same stupid decision. Now a few people haven't come in, again no double stacks for the likes of Bottas and Verstappen, De Vries and Hulkenberg. We're just going to run, it's time to try and run away. Perez is up to P2. Looks like it's Piastri third, because Tsunoda has not had a great time of it. He's down to P4 as well. There's a few other people, and there's a couple of Alfa Tauris. Our teammate, despite having a Spinala, is in the pits. And it's the wrong Williams in the top 10. Sargent has caught up, but his teammate is currently P10. So there's a chance of some points for Williams, as Leclerc is going side by side on the back straight. Can he make this move on Piastri's on hard? Yes, he can. And Leclerc is up to P3. We're playing the DRS game again on lap 18. We've got 4 laps to hold on as well. We've got no pace at all. We just got to hope that we can use what DRS as well as we get up to 226 miles an hour again. It seems to be the maxed out speed, and for some reason the engine note changes when you hit 226 miles an hour as well, which also needs to be fixed. Codemasters, if you're watching, which they're probably not, but yeah. And that Leclerc's up to third. Now I'm going to go for this race win. I want to win this race, so I don't want to be giving Leclerc the win. So I think we are gonna fight him, and we'll deal with the consequences on Ferrari later as well. But he's got to overtake Perez, which won't be easy for him. Meanwhile, that is Nick De Vries, who's had his Spinala in front of Sainz, who's had a miserable afternoon as well. Now Perez, we think he had some a bit of front wing damage. Apparently, mind you, it's only slight front wing damage. Either from, don't know if it's contact with me or Leclerc. Haven't been able to find it. But yeah, he is a bit slower through the corners, and we are able to capitalise even though he comes with DRS. I've not been given him DRS in these final few laps. I've been defending using the battery because we've had that 6/10 lead, and he's not had the greatest of advantages through going through Eau Rouge and Radion. So through the final cut to the final corner there, you saw he was side by side through the middle sector, but he's not close enough there, and he's not, he's going to have a dive through the bus stop. I decided to turn in slightly early there for the bus stop. Can we get this straightened up early enough up to the line for the win? Yes, we can. Across the line. Finally. First place for Alfa Romeo. Finally, we win a race on F123 driver career mode.
What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So here they come now, out onto the podium. It's thrilling to see this team go toe-to-toe with the best in the sport and come out on top. What a superb victory for the Alfa Romeo team.
A little bit of crofty there. That's another glitch because it should be Alex Jenks, but never mind. I will take P1 any day of the week. Fantastic victory. That's exactly what we need to show our credentials for Ferrari, and surely guarantees us a drive for season 3. Although you never know. We all thought Liam Lawson would be getting that drive, and he didn't. Alonso came through in P8 actually, which, to be fair, I'm surprised they didn't give him a penalty. But in the end, Perez was a worthy advocate, and again, you can see our fastest lap was not that great, 44.2, teammate of 44.4, so the pace wasn't there. In the dry, Perez was way quicker. And I think if we hadn't had that qualifying lap stepped us up and gave us the platform to win this race. Leclerc third place though, because Norris failed to score any points. Leclerc has now a 19-point lead at the top. We're up to P4, but we've been so consistent that we could actually legitimately finish P4, P5 in this car. Sainz is not having the great second half this season at the moment. Sort of this mid-spell of the season, he's sort of gone off the boil. Our team, Alonso, did get some points as well. So McLaren aren't out of reach just yet, although it will depend on how they do. Aston Martin, that's a good gap now over them, and also Haas and Alpine. Both of them start to go off the board a bit. Which, if we had the upgrades, I would say that we would be comfortably P5 in the championship, even P4, but unfortunately they just keep failing. So yeah, we're going to try and repurchase those upgrades. We've got the points for that now, 2,300. So I want to go through and just purchase those, hopefully at the start of the next episode. Hopefully we've got some points left over to actually look at another upgrade and not just repurchase this episode's upgrade. That episode, the Italian Grand Prix, will be out next week as well. Hopefully the Japanese Grand Prix should also be out next week as well. So yes, that's where I'm going to leave it today's episode. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for me to the channel, see plenty more episodes of the F123 Drive Camera videos as when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.